assistant.
Alright.
My ukulele.
It's recording. We're live.
You're my. Thank you for joining us today. Yes.
We have nothing interesting to say.
We're not going to use it.
Say something.
Starting at the end of this little snippet. Once this snippet turns.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Are we live?
We are live.
We're live.
Live, boys.
Hey, everyone.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Everyone's sucking at once. We should just take it down a notch and just relax for a second. My name's Gannon.
My name is Sam.
I'm Collin. I'm new to the podcast.
I'm Hayden.
And thank you very much for joining us on We Have Nothing Interesting to Say. We do actually have a special guest today. His name is Collin. He's been a longtime friend of ours, and we're very happy to have him on the show.
Hey, folks. It's good to be here. I enjoyed listening to the first one, so I'm glad to pop on.
And if you want to be a guest, shoot us an email.
What's our email?
We'll put you on.
We have nothing interesting
See the email
to
in
say
the description.
The email is
it'll be
in the description.
Yeah.
Do not forget to smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. I want to see 100,000 likes on this video.
Listen,
Or dislikes, as long as the number's high.
Really, about 5 will do, honestly.
Seriously,
We're kind of desperate.
as long as we get more than the 2 likes, which one of them is me and one of them is probably my sister
And one
on
of
our
them's me.
on our podcast, we'll be
I just want a
we'll be
sponsor.
good to go.
Can we just get a sponsor?
We gotta
You're pretty big in
produce.
Russia, right?
What?
You're pretty big in Russia.
We're not big in Russia.
He's got more fans in Russia than he does here.
But yes, thank you very much for joining us. And today we're actually going to talk about superheroes. We've got a couple of topics that we want to touch base on. And I think the first one that we are going to talk about is the most useless superpowers.
Wait, hold on. Does Batman technically have any superpowers?
No.
Technically, no.
I mean, he's good at fighting, but that's not really a superpower.
I think
He's
that,
a genius,
I
right?
think
Kind
if
of
the
close.
character's in a comic book, I think that pretty much gives them automatically the label of superhero.
Well, they get like the generic like superhuman kind of stuff. Like they're much stronger than normal humans would be.
So, like,
they'd be able to take more
Anybody who's
hits and
above
things like
average,
that.
So just like
Significantly
Black
above
Black Widow shouldn't be a superhero.
Yeah, she has no powers. Batman has no.
Batman's a
powers.
hero.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He does some pretty super stuff, but he's not a superhero.
Okay.
He's just a millionaire. That's pretty much
And
it.
he's also the world's greatest detective.
Well,
I mean, that's kind of fair. He's a
You
pretty
gotta
good
give
detective.
credit to Alfred at least.
I don't know.
Putting up with it.
I don't know what I'm
Years.
bumbling on about.
But anyways, who has our first useless superpower?
Well, I came up with one,
All right, what's that?
but it's not a superpower. It's basically just a superhero that I just made up.
Okay, we'll run with it.
Okay.
Tell us about it.
His name is Gentle Man. And all his main focus is running through the streets of the city and just opening doors for people, paying people for coffee, just being a gentleman. That's basically what he does. But when he has like a spidey sense about these things, when he knows that there's an elderly woman like struggling with a door, he sprints all the way over there and helps her out.
Does he have super speed?
Of course.
Oh, okay.
Of course. Yeah,
Power
of course.
walks.
See,
Yeah.
when you first said,
And he's always in a 3-piece suit.
Hey, man.
I like it.
Monocle and all.
What color?
So-
What color?
Oh, it's all black.
It's all black. Has to be all
that's,
black.
that's the the generic gentleman
Yeah.
suit.
Sure.
And at times he rides a Segway.
All right.
Helmet or no helmet?
Helmet. You gotta
Okay,
be safe.
So when you said gentleman, something just popped into my brain here. Very similar to gentleman, but I guess a different context of gentleman. Same name, gentleman. But the difference is that he just goes around and tickles people. He's real gentle with people. He doesn't hurt
So
them.
he's a pedophile.
Wouldn't his name be Tickle Man?
No, gentleman, because he's very gentle with people. He doesn't hurt them. He just tickles them. But the power is...
So he wouldn't be Tickle Man.
No, he's just gentleman.
But he tickles them.
Yes.
Okay.
But his power... We can work on the name, all right? But his power is that no matter what, when he tickles you, you get ticklish. So even if you're not ticklish, this man tickles you and you're ticklish.
It sounds like a fetish.
Or a predator.
I can picture some people being into that. New category on Pornhub.
Yeah,
right.
Tickle fetish. Daddy tickles me.
Maybe it's actually there.
We need to end it with the stepsister fetish and just go right to the tickle fetish.
Yeah, that's it.
No more stepsisters.
You gotta look at that subreddit. It's popping up.
Tickle me.
Yeah. How about you, Sam?
The more that I think about it, there's a couple that come to mind. But the biggest one is turning into like things that are really useless, like one of the Wonder Twins that turns into water. Like how fucking useless is that? You're gonna turn into a puddle. Yeah.
You drink them.
Did they used to be like? Did they used to be enjoyable for people to read about?
It'd
or
be good
watch?
to like hide
I mean,
from someone.
they were cool. They
That's
had
pretty much it.
Camouflage.
Yeah.
they had like the
I've never seen that before, so I'm not really familiar.
well they had the same kind of like attitude or aesthetic of like the old Batman comic books. So they were very cheery and like always positive and like let's go get them, you know. So it was kind of cool. But such a useless fucking power.
I guess if there's if there's a fire that happens to come up and you have nothing else to put it out with.
Yeah, but then you sacrifice yourself.
Well, it's for the greater good, Sam.
Yeah, but not killing yourself.
But
what's the point of being a hero if you're not going to be alive?
But that's how you achieve hero rank. You have to sacrifice yourself. So
I guess that's fair.
To achieve
so you see some starving kids in Africa and just bam, I'm water, drink me.
Here's a little drip drop. My finger's gone.
You're right. Don't drink me too much, boys.
Monster.
What are you doing?
Colin, do you have one?
Yeah. So what about doing a double jump? We're talking about video games, folks. But not like a full jump because that'd be kind of actually cool in terms of basketball and everything. Talking about like an extra like 1 inch, where like you jump up and then it's like it's just like kind of hover there a little bit and then you fall down.
Well, even if it was like a full double jump, like two of the same height jumps, like one after each other, like in midair,
you'd still hurt yourself coming down.
Well, that too, but like if you don't have that prerequisite like superhuman body and superhuman mind, not only are you going to hurt your legs, your knees, your back, but also it's useless. Like just a shrimpy kid that can double jump. Like what is going to happen with him? He's going to go into a bad guy fight, double jump, and like get shot or stabbed or something.
Yeah, look what I can do.
You might get
double jump.
You might get a D2 scholarship for basketball.
Yeah, you could get a scholarship for basketball.
Yeah.
Which, that's fair. That's probably a good feat, but still.
And if it's a white guy and they say white men can't jump, they'll prove them wrong.
I guess, yeah. Hayden, you got any powers there?
I mean, I guess. Growing your hair on command.
Let's go!
You'd be like one of those GTA barbers,
but you
where
have
it's just like you got to get a haircut and all of a sudden,
but it's
bam,
real
afro.
painful every time. So like every time you want to
This reminds me of a Dwight Schrute quote. I'm not gonna get it right, but he can like lower his cholesterol at will, and he can also raise it. And it's like, why would you want to raise it? So I can lower it.
Is too low cholesterol a thing?
What?
Is too low of cholesterol?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Give it a Google. You're the fact check guy. Give it a Google.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good. Do you have to like pick the sides of your bed
If
for
you can
pain?
grow your hair on command, would that mean you can grow your nails on command?
Yeah, I got maybe
right?
throw them in there.
It'd be pretty fun.
But
though.
your nails, even if they were long, they'd be useless. You're not gonna get anywhere with scratching someone with your nails.
You know how weak your nail bed is.
Yeah, they're gonna snap off every time.
You'll do more damage.
You'll do more damage to yourself. Yeah.
I'd honestly pay you to go to like a hairstylist or waxer or something, and then have them remove the hair, and you're just like, they're like, all right, you're done. And you just and it comes back, and they just pass out.
Another one.
Okay, Gannon is coming back with the low cholesterol.
I have the answer for too low of cholesterol. All it says is pretty much low levels of cholesterol may increase risk of cancer. So it's not really that bad at all.
Yeah, cancer's not that bad.
You know, whatever. You can live, folks.
Yeah.
Jesus.
got,
cancer is bad.
You got 2 testicles. You can live with one.
No, not all cancer's in the testicles, buddy.
Tell that to Armstrong.
He had serious issues.
Or Hitler.
Hitler didn't have cancer.
He didn't have a
He had
testicle.
one testicle.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's...
Maybe that's why he was so angry.
All right, we're gonna.
All right, back
Maybe
to this.
he lost his testicles
Use
to
a
the
coaster,
Jew.
you fucking fiend.
There's 2 coasters, and they're already being used.
That was loud.
So I
Maybe that's your
apologize.
superhero.
I apologize for the loud noise.
Sorry,
But
I'm sorry.
Gannon just threw a coaster, a wooden coaster at Hayden, and
He
hit him
threw it at
right
my
in
face, but I fucking blocked it.
hit him right in the hand. Anyways, back to horrible superpowers.
All right.
Hayden, you got anything else?
Oh yeah, you can change your pee color on command. That'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna pee red. Freak out the doctor.
Gotcha.
Hey,
It's just my superpower.
Hey, then when you tell kids in
Purple.
2nd grade to spell eye cup and then funny colors, that'd be actually true.
Yeah, or if you're like going for
Wait.
a drug test, it's all purple. Like I swear, it's not Gatorade. I promise you that. Go ahead, smell it, taste it.
All right.
No, but they actually used to taste urine back in the day to like see if you had diabetes. You know, if it was
Really?
if it tastes like sweet
Sounds effective.
or I guess like had like a honey or a sweet taste to it, they'd be like, yeah, it's probably diabetes.
Can I
But there's some kinks about
can
it
I
too.
urinate
Yeah,
in
too.
your mouth and you tell me if I have diabetes?
No, you were telling me about this band's dude who just like would get pissed on for.
No.
Try it.
Fat Mike from NoFX, he drinks his wife's piss. When he
Like
first
regularly?
yeah, it's weird. It's real weird. But
Guys, Bear Grylls too.
yeah, but his is different. Fat Mike does it out of the whole thing of it's weird, so it's like super punk rock. Bear Grylls does it to survive. Like Fat Mike just is like at his show playing a concert, and he'll give his wife his drink, and she'll go make him a drink, and then when she's bringing it back to him, she'll drink some of it, and then squat like behind his amps and just piss in it and give it to him. Yeah, it's real weird, but very interesting.
Yeah, of course you'd find that interesting. It's one of your weird kicks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kinks, huh?
Yeah, I just love watching people drink piss. That's
I bet. Golden showers and all that.
we are still getting away from the superhero topic.
No, we were talking about changing your pee color.
Yeah, and then we started talking about drinking urine.
Which do you think the color would change the way it would taste?
Probably not.
Here's a little bit of lime in that one.
That's another superhero power.
Yeah,
though, if
see-
it didn't have any downsides to drinking piss.
Shit and ice cream.
Another one is like acid spit.
Shit and ice cream. That's a good one.
Yeah. Like, here's some ice cream.
Acidic spit, you know.
No,
It's not shit, I
But it looks
swear,
like
it's ice
shit.
cream.
No, but it's Rocky Road. Trust me.
because every time you spit, it would then like burn a hole through something.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, again, if you don't have that prerequisite
Can you
superhuman
kiss anyone?
It
whatever,
would burn through your body.
yeah, it'll burn right through your body, and you can't kiss people. Like that's gotta be
Well,
dreadful.
Hey, wasn't there a
You
guy
can,
in
just be kissing
Deadpool
death.
who,
Yeah, he like spewed it though. I mean,
like
just
acid
like
vomit? Like he made himself throw up or something?
well, it was like toxic spew, but yeah, kind of. He just kind of threw up on people.
No, but even like even if your body could handle it, every time you sneeze, you're just gonna burn speckles of everything.
Yeah,
into the wall.
You
or
burn your
arm,
house down.
Your arm. It just.
Well, I mean, in that case, do you think that you would be immune? Like your skin would be immune to the acid, or do you
Your
gotta,
shirt probably wouldn't be.
No, man, that's got to be rough. Like
Man,
you
I
sneeze,
burned the
you sneeze
7th shirt this week.
Yeah, you sneeze into your elbow and your whole shirt just disintegrates. Like,
You sneeze on your friend. Oh.
yeah, game over. Yeah. And what kind of friend are you sneezing on people?
What if it was like a sudden, like, oh shit, fuck.
You put your hand over your mouth. And...
Yeah, I know, but like, what if your like hands are bound?
But what if you're inconsiderate?
Yeah, what if you're just a lazy fuck?
What if you could get someone pregnant just by touching them?
I'm sure some
There was-
some
I'd be
guys
wearing
would have a fun
gloves.
time with
There-
that.
there's a
Like if you just brush up against someone, male or female, they're pregnant.
Well, do you know how many people would be like, I swear I didn't have sex with anybody, I must be the new...
I'm gonna give you a
Okay.
little. I'm gonna get a little.
But I'm not a virgin because I'm a
little more grotesque here. There was a kid in our graduating class. I won't give out any names.
Say his last name. What's his social?
Credit card number?
518. No. There was a kid in our graduating class who believed that if a woman swallowed semen, she would be able to get pregnant.
I kind of want you to tell me the name, but not over this.
No. But
Can you spell it out?
No.
Speak it in Pig Latin.
No, everybody knows Pig Latin. But yeah, that was...
Smash that like button if you know Pig Latin.
Are you guys still awake? You listening?
Yeah, if you guys are still listening, thank you very much.
Leave a comment on when you thought about dropping off the first time.
Yeah, please. I know we're kind of boring, but thank you anyways.
Suicide arises when people listen to this podcast.
Well, so
I'm kind of thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
all right. So another topic that we're thinking about for the podcast are just general superheroes that we like or respect, I guess. So Gannon, you were talking about this earlier. Who's your favorite?
Well, definitely Spider-Man, because I just think he's the most relatable superhero.
Get him, Yuki. Get him.
He's just an average Joe in high school. He's kind of a loser.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Socially awkward.
I mean,
Broke as shit.
yeah. Be real, guys. Like
Can't stick with a girl for a long time because of shit happens.
I mean, let's be real. Like we're not
like breaking necks.
Not everyone's like super popular or all that shit. So when I first saw Spider-Man, the first one with Tobey Maguire, like literally blew my mind, because when I was little, I used to watch the cartoon Spider-Man animation from like the 60s, and for like 3 straight solid Halloweens, I was Spider-Man, and like he was my hero. Like Spider-Man was my shit, and just to like see like the live action version of it, and now seeing where it is now, it's like huge. Like he's in all the Avengers movies. Like there's been like 3 spin-offs of Spider-Man. Hasn't been like 3 Spider-Man since
3 restarts.
Yeah.
Or 2 restarts.
It's just crazy.
And then the Spider-Verse.
So yeah, Spider-Verse. Yeah. So
Spider-Verse was a good movie.
Yeah. So like 4 probably. Yeah.
I have to agree with you that Spider-Man's probably my favorite superhero. Also, I feel like they've gotten a lot better, especially with the movies recently with Tom Holland and Into the Spider-Verse.
I wasn't really sold when I saw the preview of the movie with Tom Holland, the first one.
Okay. Yeah.
But when I watched it, I loved it.
Yeah, I wonder if they were a little cautious about it. That's why they had to throw Iron Man in there to make sure people actually went to see the movie. Right. They're like, oh, it's another Marvel movie. I'll go see it, if they didn't actually care about Spider-Man also.
Right.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm not a big fan of Andrew Garfield, but I do like Tom Holland, and I really like Tobey Maguire.
Oh, jeez.
I love Tobey Maguire. He's such a good Spider-Man. It's so funny.
Yeah, he's the best. He's like no one's gonna be able to top him. Honestly,
I think they.
I'll give
fuck Tobey Maguire.
Listen, I'll give
That's my unpopular opinion. Fuck Tobey Maguire.
All right.
So who's your Spider-Man? Holland?
I don't know. What was that? Garfield? He was I kind of liked him. He was all right.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
You're in the minority there.
I'll give you the Spider-Man 3 sucked, but the first 2.
Yeah, the first 2 were great.
We're pretty good.
What's the one with James Franco? That was the second one, right?
All 3.
Yeah, all 3.
No, but when he was like a prominent character.
Yeah, all 3.
he really shone when he was a villain in the third one, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
When he was, Hobgoblin or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spider-Man...
1-0 Bruins! I'm sorry.
Spider-Man's a good superhero, but who's your favorite? Hayden?
I don't know. I kind of like... I'm a big fan of anti-heroes, really. Like Rorschach, Cable...
Okay, yeah, you can talk about that. Mine's not necessarily a superhero either, so that's fair.
I don't want to sound like a basic bitch, but Deadpool's pretty funny. Just because
I do like Deadpool.
I think I'm the only one.
Wolverine's dope.
No, it wasn't a goal.
You're not the only one, Gannon, because you're about to say you didn't really like the Deadpool movies.
Yeah,
and I'm with you. It wasn't really my type of humor.
I didn't like the second one. The first one I thought was good.
They're trying to be funny, which I understand. False alarm, folks. Bruins didn't score. I'm sorry. They're trying to
hit the top bar.
They're trying to be funny, but I watched the first one. Everyone in the theater was laughing, I was with my brother, and we were just like, this isn't funny at all. Like, this is lame as shit.
I will say, I think my favorite is probably Rocket from the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
You do like Rocket Raccoon?
I love Rocket.
You know, I used to not like Guardians of the Galaxy.
I fucking love that movie.
Gave it a second try,
Dude,
and I was sold on it.
Yeah, it's
and
good.
Then they're
I like the first one better.
Especially Chris Pratt's performance.
Yeah.
In the Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
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 It was dope.
In Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Infinity War.
Yeah, Infinity War. Yeah.
Oh man, I was gonna say.
War.
I apparently watched a different movie. I watched the Russian version or some shit.
Yeah. Beers have been consumed, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing Rocket return, at least for a lot of Endgame coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna indeed.
Isn't Rocket Raccoon voiced by Bradley Cooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
So,
we have nothing interesting to say, so why'd you bring it up?
I'm just assuming.
He dropped the name of the podcast in the podcast.
Like, comment, subscribe for more witty humor and gaffes.
Oh boy. So my favorite comic book character.
Guess who gives a shit? I'm just
superhero is the Max. I don't know if you guys
I've never heard.
Okay, so
but does it push it to the max?
Yeah. So his whole thing is, it's a comic by Sam Keith from like the early '90s, and his whole thing is that the comic series takes place in both the real world and an alternate reality called the Outback. And
does it take place in Australia?
No, it's just called the Outback. It's like a very primitive caveman culture.
Did I serve Luminine?
Do you hear?
No, there's no. No, but in the real world, the Max is just a large homeless man who lives in a box. And in the Outback, depressing. Yeah, it is really depressing. But in the in the Outback, he is like the king of the Outback, like the ruler and hero of the Outback.
Sounds like some like Green Mile shit or something.
And his whole thing is just saving the Jungle Queen, which is real in both the alternate reality and in real life. In his real life, she is a social worker that keeps bailing him out of jail and trying to get him like in a proper place so he's not homeless and he's not living on the streets and he's not, hurting people. But in the alternate reality, she's the queen of the jungle, so it's like his love interest. And it's very interesting. It's extremely dark, but never to the point where it's like too much. It's just a lot of dark themes. But that is by far my favorite comic book character. My favorite superhero.
I was going to say, I don't know if he's a superhero or some sad hobo that he passes out from some time to time.
Well,
he overdosed and he's in a coma.
He's not really... He's more like... I don't know. I guess he's kind of neutral because he's both bad and good. Like, he gets himself into a lot of trouble.
Makes bad choices, but also has good intentions sometimes.
Yes. But my favorite comic book character is Captain America.
Okay.
Not a big fan of the films, and I know that's a lot of people are going to shit on that.
Controversial.
Yeah, people are going to shit on that, but I'm not a big fan of the films.
Which one's your favorite of the three, though?
Oh, boy.
I'm a big fan of 2. That's one of my favorite Marvel movies, The Winter Soldier.
I do like The Winter Soldier.
All right,
I guess if I had to choose, it would probably be The Winter Soldier.
So, I hate to interrupt you, but I was in the kitchen, and I overheard you saying that Captain America is not one of your favorite films.
It is not.
I definitely agree. I found the first one boring as hell.
The first one was kind of boring. But my thing is that when I read Captain America, like when I was younger, and I read a lot of the older comic books, there was a lot of Nazi punching. Okay. and I am a big advocate of like him fighting the Red Skull and sure. beating up Nazis. So sure. There wasn't a whole lot of that in the film.
We're very anti-Nazi here on this podcast.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no Nazis allowed. I don't care about your podcast, but this podcast, no Nazis. I wonder if a big thing about that was they didn't really want to produce a lot of Nazi symbolage or anything like that.
And that's fair, and I understand that. But it kind of, and that's a me thing. I'm not saying the movies are poorly made or anything like that because they were great, but I kind of like the comic books better.
Yeah, I don't really understand some of the aspects of culture, how a lot of swastikas are cut from historical World War II games and such like that, when it was actually there.
It's part of history, you know?
It's part. It happened. It's a fact, and it's not like we're portraying Nazis in a good light in video games or anything. It's just I don't really see a connection between that and also producing less hateful thoughts in youth. So I don't really see a connection there.
Well, I think that they don't want to step on anybody's toes. And I can understand that some people will take it very seriously, and some people will understand that it's part of history, but nobody wants to step on anybody's toes. No one wants anyone to be upset over it, you know?
It's like that game Wolfenstein, where it's just
the
whole focus is just killing Nazis. And then there was quote unquote backlash from people like, oh, way to make it political. Like, what do you mean it's political? You're killing Nazis. Like, and it's usually just a bunch of, like, it was like on Twitter and like social media. People
about that.
Yeah, people were just like, oh, way to make this all political. Way to take a whole side to the whole thing. We're like,
well, they didn't take a side.
No, but the people who made the games were like, we don't. If you're offended by this game, fuck you. We don't care.
Yeah, don't play it.
Yeah,
I have respect for them.
If you
to clarify, Wolfenstein has always been a game about killing Nazis,
killing Hitler.
But in that circumstance, the biggest thing here is that nobody wants to step on anybody's toes. No one wants to offend people, and that's fine, and it's understandable. But I also agree that if we're reading a history book in school or whatever, we should be able to learn about those things so we understand them and
don't repeat things.
Right. So I can see it from both sides. I understand why the media won't put things like that or whatever it may be in films, books, whatever. But on the same sense, in some circumstances, we should be able to learn about it freely. We can understand it.
Well, I'm an opponent of censorship, but this could be a whole topic for another day. So we don't have to dive too deep.
One more superhero.
Can I just add to this?
Oh, okay.
I just think it's very dangerous in a way to suppress history.
This is like a what's it called? With a bad future, like one of those books with a dystopian.
Yeah,
dystopian.
Yeah, it's like Fahrenheit 451.
That's kind of fair.
Yeah.
So
sorry,
we had technical difficulties. Our cat unplugged the computer. You guys know how it is.
It's my cat. Don't claim that it's everyone's cat. It's my cat.
Can we let the cat decide?
Her name is Yuki, and she's the best cat in the world.
Oh, that's debatable.
She's actually our special guest tonight. It's not Collin. It's actually Yuki.
If you folks actually saw my cats, though, Yuki's nothing special.
But look at her.
She is very cute.
Look at her right now.
But before we got interrupted by
spectrum?
Probably.
Wow. Okay. Jesus.
So it's autism awareness.
Wait, is there something wrong with the spectrum, Sam?
No, you just assuming that the cat's autistic is what's wrong.
Oh,
we'll be donating $100 to autism awareness.
I mean, you will be.
Wow! You won't even donate?
Do you think I have that kind of money?
You can put towards $25 to...
I could put some money, yeah.
Listen,
but it doesn't matter because you guys can't prove that we didn't do it. So
I'm broke.
You know what?
Okay, now we're gonna do it. Jesus.
All right. So what were we talking about before?
The last superhero I wanted to bring up before we were interrupted by the unplugging of the computer here was Doctor Strange. He is easily one of my favorite superheroes.
And why is that, Sam?
Well, he's just got a whole.
Because he can summon holes.
Yeah, that's the best part. He can just open holes. No, he's just got a wide array of super cool powers, like the cloak, the necklace, the whole...
I think he's kind of cringy.
Well, what do you mean? Him as a superhero or Benedict Cumberbatch?
I just can't take Cumberbatch seriously at all.
I'm not... You don't need to talk about Cumberbatch. I mean...
Well, whenever
Doctor Strange, I thought it was a good movie.
To be honest, I did like the movie, though.
Whenever I picture Doctor Strange, I picture his stupid fucking face.
It's Dr. Stephen Strange. I'll give you that the movie was kind of cringy in some parts, but overall as a superhero... He's pretty cool.
When I watched Doctor Strange, for some reason I had a connection. I was like, I feel like the same people that like Doctor Who would like Doctor Strange.
I can see that.
And, I don't like Doctor Who, so I didn't really care for Doctor Strange.
Was he a doctor in Doctor Who?
No.
I can see him being a doctor.
No, but I feel like it had
sure?
some similar.
I don't know. I don't watch Doctor Who.
I don't watch Doctor Who either.
He
might have been a doctor.
Sherlock.
Oh, he was Sherlock. That's right.
Yeah, that's the British show.
Some BBC shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
I think the last thing we want to talk about on this episode is actually going to be our least favorite superheroes.
right.
Did you just burp? Was that a burp?
I didn't burp. No, Hayden's just patting me.
I was just comforting
Oh,
him.
you were like crying into your
Yeah,
arm?
well,
Didn't someone just say
maybe
their
I'm
least
faking it so
favorite?
you guys can comfort me.
Or am I tripping?
We're talking about
What?
least favorite.
What were we just talking?
We're going to talk about our least favorite superheroes.
Didn't someone mention their least favorite just a second ago? Or am I tripping?
No, you
Maybe
said you didn't like Doctor Strange.
okay.
What's your least favorite superhero, Gannon?
It's a hard one.
Sorry, is this like ordering at a restaurant and you still need to decide so where the rest of us will
Yeah,
go?
you look at the menu.
All right,
Hey,
Hayden.
hey, fuck you. I needed an extra minute to order my food,
Yes,
all right?
Sam. We
So
were
you guys-
at Red Robin, not too long ago, and
Shout out Red Robin.
shout out to Red Robin.
Those sweet potato fries.
And that's freckled lemonade.
Yeah.
Sponsor us, please.
Smash that
Send us free
motherfucking
shit.
smash that motherfucking like button if you
Like,
want
comment,
Red Robin
subscribe.
Yeah, if you want Red Robin to
Email
sponsor
us at the email in the description.
I'm fairly certain it's wehavenothinginterestingtosay at gmail.com.
It pretty much is. I think
So-
it's pod. I don't know.
You'll
it's
see
in
it.
the description.
You'll see it.
Just click it and you do.
All right, boys.
If
All
you
right.
can't tell, we're pretty new at this.
All right, boys. Hayden, least favorite superhero. I know you have one.
Everybody's got one.
Shit. Yeah, I got one. The people who can like I don't know.
Oh,
I can't think of the name. It's like they can expand, like they just control their weight, like.
Oh, like
at will.
stretchy powers?
Yeah,
Oh, like Mr. Fantastic or
Yeah.
Or Mr.
I
Incredible.
mean, Mr.
Mr.
Fantastic
Incredible?
is more
Yeah, that's
practical, where
But
he can
Mr.
like he can
Mr.
shoot his
Incredible's
arm out.
thick, though.
But like, there's
She is
people who,
thick.
like I think there's a superhero who can like expand their weight to be like super big or like really.
Do you have
fucking
a
big.
superhero in particular?
No, I can't.
Are we
think of the
talking about
name.
least important superpowers like at the beginning of the
No,
podcast?
and it was in a I think a Suicide Squad comic I read. It was he ended up getting eaten by a shark. or something.
Actually, I think the Suicide Squad as a collective are the dumbest superheroes.
Okay, I got it. It was a pretty shitty movie too.
Yeah.
I do like Deadshot though. Is that
Yeah,
his name?
I like that shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Hayden and I watched it when it first came out at like a really small theater in the middle of nowhere, and we were the only ones there. It was
Yeah.
like the opening weekend,
Yeah.
and we were the only ones there.
Did he get busy?
Well,
And
we were in the middle of nowhere.
Did you guys have a 4-man job in the theater?
That theater wasn't a 4-man job.
Speaking of the term four-man job, don't try to use it. It's our copyright.
Don't Google it.
We did copyright that. But do you have a least favorite superhero? Colin.
Suicide Squad.
Squad.
Cut him off.
That's the remake.
He's had 2 beers. We can't
Cut him off.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, that was a pretty good one, but I don't know. I don't really keep on hand.
Powerpuff Girls. Fuck them.
Yeah, thanks for interrupting.
Is that a superhero?
They're superheroes.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool, actually.
So I don't really have a particular bad one, but maybe just different versions of a superhero. Have you ever watched Arrow?
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Arrow.
But like, I just can't take like Black Canary and stuff. A lot of these things, a lot of these people, I could take in other forms of comics or animated movies.
Jessica
But
Jones.
So maybe it's not the hero themselves. It's
Right.
the interpretation.
Can I go back to your Arrow comment? I think all CW interpretations of superheroes are really boring. Like
You're right.
I cannot get into them. Like they're very popular, and I cannot get.
I disagree.
I know you disagree.
I disagree
But like I just cannot stand CW like shows about superheroes. Like,
see, I disagree because I love Arrow and I loved the first 3 seasons of The Flash.
The Flash was the most incompetent person I've ever had to watch in superhero media.
what's that? There was a cartoon made about the Flash.
Oh, Flashpoint Paradox?
Yes.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
So, like, you know, there's a lot of different things like that, getting different superheroes right. And I enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Arrow, but once Felicity and Oliver started going at it, you know, show derailed and became unlikable.
I will agree that after season, maybe the end of 4 or in the middle of 5.
End of 4?
Yeah.
I barely made it to halfway through 3.
Well, they weren't. Well, they kind of were. But it does kind of steer off into more like a soap opera rather than like a comic book show. And that's fair. A lot of shows do that, like The Walking Dead. It turned into a soap opera kind of thing. But I guess I can understand that. I will, however, defend both Arrow and The Flash, at least the first couple of seasons of both, because they were pretty good. I do actually have a superhero that I don't like.
Okay, what's that?
I hate Superman.
I'm
sorry.
Because he's too overpowered?
He does everything so well.
Yeah,
you know, and
I agree.
It's really unfair. And I understand that he was, you know, probably one of the first, you know, real popular superheroes, but he's just too good at everything.
Yeah, he's a little antiquated now. His type of superhero.
And honestly,
the movies suck, by the way.
Well,
all Zack Snyder movies suck.
Okay.
I liked some of the films, but
okay. Unpopular opinion. I liked Superman versus Batman. Or Batman
boy,
Superman.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever it was called.
Well, just put a deck in that.
Because I fucking love Batman. He's probably second place to Spider-Man, even though he's not really a superhero per se. He doesn't have any special powers. He's not really. He's rich and he has, you know, all this money. That's pretty much it. That's all he has going for himself. But I don't know why, but I like that movie.
Speaking of, sorry Sam, you look like you had
because the movie was okay, but I didn't really like.
I don't think it was as bad as people made it out to be.
I will agree with that. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I didn't really care for the premise at all. Honestly, the movie was cool, but I didn't care for the premise.
They could have done a different Lex Luthor, in my opinion.
Because in
even less like
realistically,
Facebook motherfucker.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg.
I mean, realistically, Superman would wipe out anyone he would be against.
Probably.
I don't know. Superman could be killed.
It's like I saw like a meme where it was like
kryptonite batarangs. You know,
I saw a meme where it showed the Justice League and it was like Justice League at 100% power, and then it showed a picture of like Superman. It's like Justice League at 99.9% power.
I do like Justice League of America though.
Kryptonite batarangs.
Yeah,
he can move faster than a fucking bullet. Are you saying he's
okay?
Just not gonna be like,
Batman's a tricky motherfucker. He might get a good shot in.
Yeah, we've seen the movie.
What do you guys feel about Teen Titans?
I love Teen Titans.
Did you watch the movie?
Are you talking about Teen Titans Go?
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Fuck Teen Titans.
Okay, so here's something about Teen Titans Go. I liked the original. I was originally kind of put off that they weren't making a continuation of the original show, but if people seem to like it. And they brought back all the voice actors. You know,
children like it.
So, well, maybe it doesn't matter if we
like it. Excuse me.
I guess maybe it doesn't matter as much if the original audience doesn't like it. I don't think they're actually going for us. So they're actually going for kids. And as long as they're making an enjoyable show for kids, doesn't look like there are that many other ones out there.
I mean, 23-year-olds are not the target market. But like, I went to see the movie with my girlfriend, and we both generally enjoyed that movie. Like it wasn't like
it's like the Lego movie.
Yeah,
it's not like targeted for adults.
It was just a fun movie. Like would I watch it again? No. Like I'm not gonna seek it out. But if it was on TV, I'm just
throw it on.
I'm just scrolling past channels. Yeah.
And hey, if you want that sort of like old school Teen Titans kick, they're coming out with more Young Justice.
Yeah,
so you can get a kick with that.
I mean, it's silly. It's kind of corny. But hey, I like that kind of shit.
I always like the voice actresses for Raven and Starfire.
Oh, Raven can get it.
Oh, Raven, yeah.
Starfire. No.
Speaking of,
have you guys ever read any of the? the hell is
No,
his
I
name?
can't read.
Jason Todd. What's his
Robin?
deal? No, Red Mask. What's
No.
his
Red Hood.
Did I
Red
watch?
Hood.
Did I watch the
Did you,
movie?
no, did you read any of the comic books?
I'm not a big reader of comics.
Okay, so there's a
Because
series
you can't
called
read.
You're right.
You should have just stopped that reading.
there's a series called Red Hood and the Outlaws, and it is super good. It is pretty much just Red Hood, Arsenal from Green Arrow. Do you remember Arsenal?
Yes, I do.
Okay, and then Starfire, and it is wonderful. They work together so well. Like Red Hood is kind of extremely stubborn, not kind of. He's extremely stubborn and trying to, I guess, better himself and kind of make up for what he's done and figure himself out. And Arsenal is just a mess. He was the Green Arrow's sidekick for a long time, but the Green Arrow decided to kick him out, and he's just been a mess ever since. He's been trying to stay out of trouble, and he always finds himself getting the shit kicked out of him and in bad places. And then Starfire is also just a mess because in this series, she doesn't remember a lot of the things that happened in her past previously. So it's very interesting. Hayden, stop fucking with the cat.
The cat's fucking with me.
No, you're fucking with the cat.
I'm just sitting here. The cat came
So-
to me.
Does anyone else have any superheroes that they do not like?
Do not like.
I can't think of anything on the top of my head
I
besides
could do without the
Suicide
Green
Squad.
Lantern. That's kind of.
Yeah.
Well,
Well-
I think it was a shitty movie. I think they could do it better.
Well, the
Ryan Reynolds
movie,
regrets it.
but
you guys are going right off the movies. I like the Green Lantern.
I was gonna.
I like the Red
I
Lantern.
mean, it's
more.
hard not to go off on the movies because that's what we like.
Well, that's fair. If you guys haven't
'Cause,
read any of the comic books.
Because visually, I think that's just like one of the strongest senses. You know.
Well, yeah, seeing it is much easier than reading it in the comic books, and I agree with that. But the movie interpretation has been really bad for a lot of comic
The
book
casting
characters.
was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
It was definitely kind of
Yeah.
iffy.
Yeah.
For the limited knowledge I have about Green Lantern, both from the movie and obviously and outside of it, it seems like a similar audience would like Green Lantern that like Doctor Strange.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's pretty crafty, kind of like Doctor Strange.
But what does he actually do?
Well, his ring allows him to create anything. So he can turn his ring into like a big hammer and smash people with it. He can turn it into a wall to deflect bullets or something.
A lot of people out there that are really a big fan of the whole Batman can beat Superman argument are like, Green Lantern can make kryptonite with his ring.
I don't know if he can though.
He can't. I don't understand, but people just keep saying. I remember in high school, it's just like people would just say that all the time. It's just like, guys, let me just focus on Spanish, not your bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's not like his ring creates like actual objects.
It's not a new material.
Right. No, it's the same material. Like the laser material that comes out of his ring is created into an object or a shape. So it's not like he can just create like knives or whatever. He can create one large knife and it stays at his hand. It's not like it's something he can just plop out of the ring and throw at someone, you know?
Or in the case of the movie, you can make a little car and go down a track. But on a different note, so I like Scarlett Johansson. I like her as Black Widow. I think she does a good job. But I wonder how they're going to pull off a movie that they're rumoring / announced with her coming in, because I wonder if it's going to be back in time. She's getting a little older, so I was surprised they'd cast her because I thought they would probably just do a back in time, cast maybe someone else, but I don't think they've actually recast unless they had to.
They're doing another Avengers film, but they're in the past. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just wondering how they're going to do her. Like, I wonder if they're going to do her before she joined the Avengers and as we know her, or if they're going to do continuation of the Black Widow.
I want to clarify. There's a new Black Widow movie coming out. Is that what you're saying? Oh, okay.
I'm saying,
I didn't know that.
Oh,
That's
really?
why. Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
that.
All right. Cool. So that makes sense.
So I'm wondering how they're going to do it, because I'd go see it definitely, but like I wonder if it's like, dealing back in her Shield days, maybe against some Hydra people, or if it's going to deal with post Endgame stuff.
This guy, Hayden just went all the way to the kitchen, grabbed the bottle opener for his beer, came all the way back into the living room, climbed over a couch, realized he didn't grab a beer, and just climbed back to go get a beer.
And just slit his throat.
Just open the beer in the kitchen.
Yeah,
This is all after one beer, so I wonder what Susan did.
You don't know me.
There was something that I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. Scarlett. Speaking of Scarlett, I want to make a shout out
We're
to...
a first name basis now.
Yeah. Me and her are on a first name basis.
Due to my great dreams with her.
I actually do want to shout out Sean Evans from Hot Ones. I don't know if anyone watches Hot Ones, but it's a show where this guy interviews stars and he eats hot wings. That's the premise. But Sean Evans, he got a little hand-holding action with Scarlett, and I was a little jealous.
I thought you were doing a shout out.
And like pretending you know him. Is it like, can we start doing
What?
shout outs to random people?
Yeah, Sean Evans. She was
No.
on Hot Ones, yes.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's real good.
Cut it off.
I am.
All right. I always feel like I'm a badass when I cut off tags off of mattresses, and they're like, "Don't remove." But
Like to live on the edge.
yeah, man.
So I think
It's under penalty of law.
I think we've covered everything we've wanted to talk about superheroes. So I think that's going to be the end of it. Thank you very much for listening, guys.
yeah. Well, thanks for having me on board.
See
Yeah,
ya.
it was nice talking to you, Colin.
Bye.